I thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the nominee, Honorable Soipan, I was saying, one is this North Rift conflict, which of course KDF were brought in accordance with the law. And of course you might remember, or in the discussion, West Pokot was the epicenter of all these issues for completely wrong reason. However, I wanted to remind you, if you are confirmed, that there are some few things which are going on. And I hope when you come in that you don't forget, so I want to give it for your list. There are projects which were to be done. In absence of war, Honorable Soipan, through Honorable Speaker, is not necessarily peace. So maybe people in North Rift are waiting for those government interventions, right? And if they don't, I don't know what they're going to say. So there are two places which the government had not or have not completed deploying KDF. One is a place called Sokoto, and another one is called Kamele. This is epicenter of conflict in North Rift. I want you to note. 3 is opening of schools in all those areas. Can you imagine, as I talk to you, Honorable Speaker, there is a division called Second Division in North Rift, which has more than 6 schools where students don't go. You know, because nobody can go there because of insecurity. Whatever agreement with the leadership at that particular time that those schools were open and be done by KDF, that spans all the way from TRT, West Pokot, and something like that. So Honorable Speaker, through you, I want the Honorable nominee to know that should she be approved by Parliament to take over. The question there therefore is, Honorable Soipan, this recruitment of KDF has been bringing a lot of problems in the public at that local level in terms of corruption. And it's almost becoming an official thing where a parent with a child going for recruitment comes to some of us as leaders and asks for money. Can you imagine? Money to be used to pay people in KDF. And the average is between 600 and 1 million. Imagine. You know, it's terrible. It's terrible. And you know, locally and particularly for us pastoralists, being employed in the army is almost like going to heaven. You know, it is the best job actually from where I come from. It's actually the best job. So people spend a lot of money. So what will you do now? That's the question. Do you need to respond to the earlier one? The question will be, what will you do in this department that is saying people buying jobs, people selling, and it is true 100%, but people sell land to pay 600,000 to 1 million. What will you do, Madam Soipan, that there is nobody to pay to be recruited as a KDF? Thank you, Speaker.
Vicaria, you will pass. Emasi, you will pass.
Chairman, I just want to add on to what Honorable Kosinga said. And besides parting with money, even those recruits who are successful on reporting to training camps, a number of them are dismissed on flimsy reasons. It happened last year, and our constituents came to us. Our efforts to reach the CS were in vain. So we really want to know, because Kenyans are suffering. Again, I want to reiterate that recruitment into KDF has become a preserve of the rich people. The poor people will never get their children working in KDF. So if we approve you, who are you going to make a difference? What is it you're going to do differently? So that opportunities are open and available to all Kenyans, irrespective of who you are and where you come from, or whether you have land to sell or not. That is a very serious issue. Honorable nominee, we need your response to that.
Daud.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Soipan, you did a wonderful job while you were in environment, and I believe if we approve you, you will do better in defense. I just want to touch on 2-3 things which the defense forces were handling: Nairobi Metropolitan, the KMC, Kenya Meat Commission, and others, and they've got a very good engineering department. Would you probably think if you are appointed, to have the company, the Kenya Defense Forces, like a company where they would come and assist in making schools and making bridges and all that at a fraction of a cost what the government would be paying private contractors. Would you think that would work if you were appointed?
You can answer those, Soipan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have noted the concerns raised by the Honorable Kosing on the epicenters of conflict in West Pokot County. I promise Honorable Kosing, should I be successful in becoming the CS, I will focus on these concerns because of the critical nature of opening up the northern region. I believe opening it up for development and all the infrastructure necessary for the livelihood support for the people of West Pokot will go a long way. On the issue of KDF recruitment, Mr. Speaker, from my reading of the core principles of national security, the drafters of our constitution found it fit that the issue of integrity around recruitment of Kenyans to the Kenya Defense Forces would be a very core component of the national principles of national security, because the Constitution actually demands of the national security organs to ensure, to reflect the diversity of the communities of Kenya and ensure diversity in equitable proportions in the recruitment of Kenyans to the defense forces and other security organs. Mr. Speaker, when you see the enthusiasm around young Kenyans coming to front themselves to participate in the recruitment into the forces, I think it is a process we have to guard very seriously in terms of the integrity. And I want to assure members of Parliament, I want to assure Kenyans that being that this is an issue that has been so incessant, I have been a member of this House before, Mr. Speaker, and this is an issue that has kept on recurring over and again. And being that the chairman of the line committee on defense and national and foreign relations is a member of this committee, I can commit, Honorable Speaker, that I will take time to evaluate the standard operating procedures of the KDF recruitment process, and with a view to identify the gaps to make sure that we adhere to the strict requirement of the Constitution in terms of the integrity around the recruitment process, Mr. Speaker. When Kenyans front themselves to be in the front line of the defense of our country, it's only fair that we afford that opportunity on an equitable measure. So, Honorable Emase and Honorable Kosing, I undertake to make sure that, again, we also need a lot of sensitization for Kenyans to know that you do not have to pay to be recruited into the KDF. I will look again at the SOPs around the recruitment, but it is also high time that we have a whistleblowing around these activities with a rapid response to issues of corruption and malpractices around the recruitment process. So, Mr. Speaker, it is my undertaking that it is an area of priority that I will look at, and should there be cases of malpractice from within, because it is from without the KDF, and in certain instances within the KDF, then appropriate action would be taken.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order.
Yes, President.
Honorable Speaker, if Mwananchi knows that they are taking this at 600,000 to one KDF. Where is NSIS? Where is defense force? They have intelligence. They call what? Military intelligence. I used to be in that committee in my first parliament. What is going on? I think Honorable Soipan crashed this thing. Let Kenyans be recruited in KDF without 1 shilling. Let them hear you today. Thank you, Speaker.
That's not a question, it's a comment.
Chairman, just on the same, so that he concludes. Chairman, Kenyans are being conned, and these matters are reported even to NSIS, and nothing seems to be done. Nothing is done. Our constituents report to us numerous cases, and there are also cartels that now have taken advantage. They will pretend to be KDF officers. I think this is a matter that should be taken seriously, not only by defense, but by all security organs, NIS included.
Yes, what's your point of order?
Just to say, we as a committee were seized of such matters. Most of the things that are said are actually not pointing to the military itself, but people out there who decide to con on and say they work on behalf of the military, yet indeed the military are not even aware. There's a procedure of how the military picks its recruits, and that procedure is very elaborate. It's even put in the newspaper. And where officers have been found culpable, they have been court-martialed.
Chairman.
Honorable Soipan, what you'll do is what we have told many of your colleagues, that none other than the President himself has lamented that one of the weak links in our government is communication. That the people assigned responsibility to assist the President don't communicate enough. So if you are confirmed, you should undertake to the country that before any recruitment, you will carry out extensive information dissemination to Kenyans that this recruitment is on merit, it is free, and any con fellow who comes around asking for money in exchange for slots should be reported to the nearest agencies, be arrested, be prosecuted, and if convicted, sent to jail.
Chairman, please allow me to add something on that.
Yes.
I think, Chairman, the elephant in the house here is about the state letters. Why should some people be given letters and they go directly to the training, and others they go to the ground for recruitment? That is the biggest challenge we have, and that is the problem.
Mr. Speaker, before I respond to Honorable Dawood, allow me to say one more thing with regard to the recruitment menace and corruption. Mr. Speaker, should I be confirmed for this position, I will also be a member of the National Security Council, and as has been stated here, the issue of recruitment malpractices may not only be within the KDF, so this is an issue of grave national concern that I would endeavor within the operations of the National Security Council to raise it for proper redress. But, Honorable Speaker, the points raised by members are well noted, including the communication aspect. The Honorable Dawood